There's a question every woman asks herself at some point. Am I doing too much? Am I the one who's always reaching, always trying, always showing up a little more than he does? If the answer is yes, this video is for you. Because the rules aren't just a dating strategy. They're a way of moving through the world. And the women who master them don't just attract better men. They attract better everything. Better friendships, better careers, better relationships with themselves. Let's start with practice. Because the rules are exactly like any other skill. The more you use them, the more natural they feel. Nobody gets this right immediately. Not even the women who wrote these rules. You'll slip up, you'll text first, you'll overshare on a date, you'll stay on the phone too long, and then you'll feel it. That familiar sinking feeling when you gave too much too soon. That's okay. Notice it, reset, and try again. Start small. Practice in everyday life. When someone walks into a room, don't rush to speak first. Let them initiate. Smile, be warm, be present, but let them come to you. At a coffee shop, at the gym, at a work event. Make it a habit so that when it actually matters, when he's standing across from you and everything feels electric, you don't have to think about it. It's just who you are. When you feel the urge to text him, call a friend instead. Go for a walk. Open an app. Answer some emails. Do anything that moves your attention somewhere else. The urge passes. It always does. And every time you don't send that message, you protect something valuable. Now here's something worth saying to the women who think they're too smart for this. Maybe you have a demanding career. Maybe you've built something impressive. Maybe you find the whole idea of playing it cool beneath you. You believe in directness, in saying what you feel, in being authentically yourself from day one. And yet, something brought you here. Something inside you already knows there's a better way. Ask yourself honestly, is what you've been doing actually working? If yes, great, keep going. But if you keep ending up in the same place, wondering why the men you want don't stay, maybe the approach needs to change, not the goal. Intelligence and strategy are not opposites. The most brilliant women in history understood that knowing when to speak and when to stay silent is its own kind of power. Some women say, I have a degree, I run a company, I refuse to play games, and that's completely valid. But there's a difference between playing games and understanding human nature. The rules aren't games. They're observations about what actually works, about how attraction is built, how interest is sustained, how commitment is earned. You don't have to agree with every word, but if you've been doing things your way and it hasn't been working, at some point, you have to be willing to try something different. Now, the rules don't stop at dating. They work everywhere. With a boss who doesn't notice your work, stop trying to get his attention. Do your job excellently and let the results speak. Don't stay late hoping he'll notice. Don't bring homemade food to the office to seem likable. Don't start conversations that aren't work-related just to build rapport. Perform well, maintain your dignity, and go home on time. The people who get noticed at work aren't always the ones who try the hardest to be noticed. They're the ones who are calm, competent, and a little bit hard to read. Sound familiar? With a friend who never calls first, stop calling. Answer warmly when she does. But stop chasing people who aren't chasing you back. In relationships, at work, in friendships, the energy is the same. When you chase someone who isn't running toward you, you exhaust yourself and you lower your own value in their eyes. Nobody chases what's always available. Nobody treasures what requires no effort. This is not a cynical view of human nature. It's just human nature. The universal law is simple. The harder you chase someone who isn't running toward you, the more exhausted and invisible you feel. When you stop chasing, you start attracting. You don't need everyone to love you. You need the right people to find you. And they will, but only if you're not too busy running after the wrong ones. Trust the process. Do the work. And know that every time you follow the rules, even when it's hard, even when every instinct tells you to reach out, you are protecting your heart and your time for someone who will actually show up for you. Here's what the women who followed the rules discovered. Every single one of them. When they stopped chasing, the right people started showing up. Not because they became someone different, but because they finally stopped settling for less than they deserved. That person exists. The one who will call without being asked, who will plan without being reminded, who will show up, not because you made it easy, but because you made it worth it. Keep your standards high enough to find them, and in the meantime, practice every single day.